Welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to continue with our e-commerce. So far, so good. We have done a really tremendous job. We have done a lot of stuff. We have a lot of forms set up, and they're just awaiting a few stuff. So in this video, we are going to brush out and like on these forms we make sure everything is working, and then we'll also set up for the staff members, and then finally we'll also set up, I think, I will explain the concept of multi-vendor. But before we start, I want to take a sincere thanks to those ones who have subscribed. Please, thank you so much. And to those ones who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's how you can actually support us. And to those ones who are asking for the code, I think I will provide the code. I'm not sure how much, because this takes a lot of time to build and focus. I want you to believe that this is a tremendous job, that finding this tutorial that is free on internet. I want you to appreciate that. So the code, there is a lot of people asking for the code. I'm still looking for a favorite way of sharing this code, because I just want to just supply it at something like $10, or even like can it be even $20, and I'm just going to give a link. At the same time, there are those ones who buy the code at the beginning, according to how the concept of Gumroad works, is that you have to, when you pay, you access the code, and I don't think they give you access again after the code has been updated. So I need to find a way of getting the emails of the people who have bought the code, so that at the end of the day, you keep on getting the updated form of the code. Because that's what I just want to simplify for you, is that you first maybe sign up, and then after signing up, I get your email, and then after you have bought the code, I have your details, and they can actually send you the details, like the updated version of the code. Okay. I'm not going to say that it's going to be free, because like this, as I've told you, this is a tremendous kind of work. Already they told you is free, so I feel like the code, just like only like $10, is really something that you can help me to contribute, and I will really appreciate. Okay, I will really appreciate. But some parts of the code, as you can see, I have it in the documentation. Those most remarkable things that we are doing in our code, for instance, reusable components, reusable functions, and all kind of stuff that we have been doing, all of them are here in the documentation, and we are going to be actually adding them, because in the future we will actually be reusing them. Instead of creating them from scratch, we'll be updating them. And that one starts with actually this component we created yesterday. We created this component. Was a nice one. This arrays item input is a good one. So I'm just going to copy this one, and I'm just going to Ctrl C, and I want to come here under reusable form components, and I'm just going to go down and I add this component so that you can actually see it and you can reuse it in your own projects. Okay. We have a lot of reusable components we have there. You can take a look and you can start using them in your project. And I'm just going to go here. Okay, I'm just going to go here, and it is this add features or add tags component. I'm just going to change the name, but just going to first remove everything and then paste the code here. So this one is, we called it array items input. So call this array items. So you say array items input. Okay, so we have this array item input component. Okay, so you could just come down here, we put the usage. So this is the whole component, and then we can just put here the usage. You could just say array input component usage. So how do we use it? How we used it yesterday is that I'm just going to have the usage. We used it in our products here in our products, and the only thing you just need to do is coding it first of all. So you have that, and then on top here you have also to define the these tags. So whatever you want to code it, you can just set up this. Okay, so this is the usage, how you can use it in your own project. Okay, so you have to set up the initial states, whatever you want, and then you can start using it. Okay, as simple as that. That's how you can use it. You set whichever state you want, whether you want to call them features, tags, whatever. You can just name it anything you want, but then they will be set up. So one more thing I think I want us to add on most of these things here is that if you just go to whatever, maybe coupons, whatever we have created, there is one thing that we have to add. If you go to creating or adding a coupon, one thing we have to be sure of, for instance, the coupon has a title and who has also the expiry date. And another thing we have to put is the activity. Is the coupon right now active? Because someone might just want to disable it to be active or not to be active. So when you're just going to use anything, whether products, whether categories, whether store banners, whether markets, someone can choose if it should be live or if it should be active or not. Okay, they can choose if it should be active, because you can create a category and then at some point you want to first pause it, or you want to pause whatever the store you want it to pause, and basically we should be able to control it from this side. Okay, so I'm just going to add one field, and this field we can start to post from the products we did yesterday. If you go to the products, everything also has to be like, someone can make the product active or inactive. So somewhere down, I'm just going to set up, we are going to set up that. Okay, and fortunately enough, we have that one. We're going to also make it, I think, a component, the toggle component. I think I have somewhere. I'm just going to search here, Control F, toggle. Okay, so there is this toggle input. Okay, we're just going to first add it, and then we see how this works, and then we can now start reusing it. As we have been doing, we can reuse this. Okay, so the first thing you're just going to do is, I'm just going to have it here. Okay, so the component is just simply I don't know how we should just it should be status. I think, yeah, it should be like status, and it can be false or true. If it is false, then it is active, like that. So I'm just going to grab this. Okay, it's just like some small amount of code. If you check it, you see that it is simply a checkbox. Okay, we are having a checkbox here, so I'm just going to just check it like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to go to our products. So after everything we have done, down there we can check if this is going to be active or not. Okay, so we can just say here, I don't know if it should just like be put on top somewhere, or we can just put it down here. So this, for now, I'm just going to paste it there. We haven't made it a component, of which we are going to do soon, right now. So we have this. I'm just going to also bring in this. Okay, we're just going to bring in where we can watch it. Okay, so up here you have to have this. Okay, let's put it below here. Okay, so now it uses watch, and I'm just going also to bring this watch from, I'm going to bring watch from the use form. Now what is watch? Watch is just the way we use on change. So if you watch an input, if any of the inputs we have there, if we watch it, if you put here and you say watch, it is going to give you the same effect we have with on change. Like everything you type in, it will be giving you live changing. Like you can watch the input changing its values using this watch. Okay, we don't need it on any others, but we might just need it on this status. I'm just going to change this status. I'm just going to change this to status. Okay, just going to change this to status, and this one I'm also going to change it to status, just like that. So down here, if you change it status, I'm just going to come down here. Okay, and then here I'm just going to say here, we can just say publish. I don't know if this is supposed to be like publish your product. I don't know. Let's just first put that publish your product. Like you can just create it and it is in the draft. Okay, and down here we have to register this. I don't know, we could just leave it as is published. I don't know, we could just like leave it as is published. Like, is it active? Because if it is published, like it means like it is supposed to be active online, like it is public. Okay, but if it is just like unpublished, then it is still like private. It is only you who can view it, but there is no any other person who can view it. I think, I don't know if we should make it like the name to use here could just make it like status. We could use like status, or we could use is published. Okay, like, or we could just say is active, maybe. Yeah, I think that is the good one. Instead of status, we could just say is active. So up here I'm just going to change this to is active. So is active status watch here is the same as is active, and whatever you just put here in the watch is the name you have registered it down here in the input. So in the input here, if you just named it something else here on the register function, whatever you register here is what's supposed to be there, is active. And you can see it has this type. It has this type here. We can just have this also a default value for now. Let's just I'm just going to first remove this. Okay, so now of course we'll put also, and just put empty for now. Okay, just set it to be empty, just like that. And don't worry about this whole this is just like a bunch of code to design it, but there is here where we say if it is active. So if it is active, if is active is true. Okay, and then here we want to say active, and then errors, maybe we just create a draft. Okay, we can just say it is active, and then like here we can just say it is deactive. Is it like does it make sense? Like say it is deactive, or like we just say unpublished. Just leave it for now on draft. Okay, and this is just like the text you'll see, but this is active is going to be like true or false. Okay, if you just go and see how this looks like, I just go here and we see how this looks like. So down there we just have this. It is here. Okay, you can see it is here. So you see, if you have watch, you see how this changes. Okay, and if we just go and console, let me just go and console for a second. So I'm just going to here under this is active. I'm just going to say console.log is active. Okay, I'm just going to say is active, and if we just go here and let's just go and work on this also to have the dark mode and this whole to have the label. So this label here, what is this? So you can just have this this is under normal circumstances, so to have that. Then in the dark mode, so dark, we're just going to say text slate 300. Okay, just change this text here. Okay, so let me just say okay, so we have here publish your product. Okay, and then you can just like, if it is inactive, you can see here the colors change. Let me first go to here to the console, and I show you how this the value is changing. You can see here we have false. Let's just move down. Okay, if you just this, you can see it is active, which is setting it true. Okay, so you can see this, we can have this change here. Okay, we can change this, and then I think by default we can set this to be true. Okay, and let's see if we just use the default value here. So if we just say default value to be maybe here to be true, I don't know, if this works out, because like we want by default, if someone creates a product or a category, it should be active, because I think it is hard work to set someone to so that it is deactive. I think it is much work, and I think we have to pass. Mhm. Mm, if one set this active, we don't even need to set it from here, I guess. Let's first remove this, and if we wanted to set it active, we might just have to use down here. So if for instance you just come here and you say default values, so if we just pass in something like default values, you could just come here and you see, for instance, is active, we can set it to true. Okay, so like by default it will have this is active true. Let's see if that one works out. Just to refresh. Okay, so you can see now by default it starts when it has this inactive. If you want to deactivate this product, then you can actually go ahead and deactivate this. Okay, yeah, you can just go ahead and deactivate this. Otherwise it should be just like public, like, so if you just want to deactivate, you just go ahead and deactivate. So the only thing we just need to make it is to have this as a component where someone actually can reuse. Okay, so there is nothing much we are setting. Okay, the only thing we would want to change is this register input. So I'm just going to first of all, okay, I'm just going to first of all, where is it? Is here. So they just first understand how the CSS is done here. Okay, if I just give it the same class, okay, if I just give here this, it is having right now w full, we have the label, everything is of course is inside the label. Okay, everything. By the way, if you want to know why I got this, you can still go to Flowbyte. If you want to know how I created this, you can just go here to Flowbyte and you check for the checkbox. I think this checkbox, you can just have like this come and check here this the checkbox we have here, and I think down somewhere. Let me see. I don't know if that is the one I use the setup or something. You can just click on the toggle. Let's see the toggle. Yep, so this is it. So you can have this. Okay, the thing is here. You can see here we have this checkbox, the toggle. Okay, yeah, so this is the one I used. Okay, you can just come here and see this. This is exactly the same thing I have. I simply just have to add a label only. You can see it is exactly just like this one. Okay, it's just exactly like this one, but the only thing I changed, I added just a label. Okay, just this. Okay, but otherwise it is the same thing, and then I made this one to be changing depending on the value that is here. Okay, so later I tried to make a component out of this. Okay, I was trying to see this whole thing is under the input. Okay, so if we want to apply the same classes, let's first see our classes we have for. I just want to be able to manipulate it, but I think for it it should just have like this full. To me, I believe it should be like this. I don't think we should be putting it only one side. Let me see. You could also just put one side, like you put this on top of this one, like this comes down here. Let's first look at that. If you look at this, how it is, we have the input and then we have this here, and now there is where we have on top we have this. Okay, if you just look at this, and then we have also this, so we have a combination of these two. Okay, so we have to join them together. Okay, we have to join them together. Let me just go and see. We are using this class. The class we are using for these ones by default is .sm correspan. I think it is correspan. Okay, correspan to, just like that. Let's just try to place these two inside. If I cut them and I place them inside here, what happens? Okay. Okay, so you can see now when I put them inside the score span, okay, if I put them inside the score span, they have this. Can I just give them? Can I just give them what? Some margin bottom, maybe to this. This label here, we can just give it a margin bottom of maybe 4. Others were having what? Let's just check here a second. Text input. Text input has this margin. Okay, a margin bottom. They have this margin bottom, and I just want to see this font medium leading. I'm just going to copy this. Let's first try to copy this exact thing and we bring it to this. Okay, just like that, and let's see. Okay, so you can see it extends just like a little bit down. Okay, so now we have it just like this. This still works. Now if we want it the way it was to finish just like that, I think we can change this the class name. Let me see, because we have them, two of them, so they are occupying with this full, just like that. If one, I think we can just add flex. Let me see if I add flex. Yeah, so if you see, if I add flex, it controls whether it should be side by side or not. Okay, so only just one flex can control it here. So that is cool. We can just now customize this, whether it should be like, if you want it, we just like by default we'll not put flex, so that it is by default is just having this. Okay, so by default it will be just like one, just like this, and then if you pass flex, then it finishes the whole line. Okay, I guess if you put another, let's just try to put this somewhere else, which I just demonstrate that. So I'm just going to copy this whole toggle thing. I'm just going to copy it, Ctrl C, and I'm just going to go under these components. So scroll down to this form input. I'm just going to have the toggle. So this is going to be toggle input .jsx. Okay, and you say RFC. Okay, and then just simply paste this here. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so now we have this toggle, and it can take here, of course, a class name. We're just going to see it can take like flex or not. And then, so what do we need to bring in? First of all is the title. So we can bring in this as a title. So for instance, maybe label. This is label. So the label goes here. So that is the label. Publish your product. And then what it is, of course, it is this, the register. Okay, it is this register, and the type is, of course, is checkbox. We're not going to change that. What we need to do is this, the register. What do you pass in? And that is going to be the name. If we check in all others, okay, you can see it has this register, and then we pass it like this. I'm just going to copy that. Toggle input, so register here, we pass in the name just like this. So this is going to come as name. Okay, what else do we need to change? Now we need to use this name, whatever we passed here. This is actually the name. Okay, and then there is these two titles here. We just say if name here, if name is true, then it should show this title. So you're going to have the active title, and so you see here, so they say they maybe just call it true title, and then the false title, so false. Okay, so like if it is true and if it is false. So if it is true, we have this true title here. Okay, we can just have this as the true. Okay, just going to name it just like this. Okay, true title, and then the same concept we just put here on this. Okay, here just going to say false, the false title. As simple as that, I think. Yep. Now for the colors, we cannot just go and customize the colors, and unfortunately it is, I think, too much work. I feel like it is too much work to customize the colors, but for now let's just move with that. In the future, you can just look for a way of how we can customize the colors so that someone can pass in the color they want, the active color and the deactive color, both on the dark mode and on the light mode. If you just check this, we're in dark mode, and in the light mode it's still looking nice. You can see like that. So we're just going to choose, but for now just like keep it just like that. So now let's just go ahead and try to use this now. Okay, and already then the initial state will give it from the other side. It will be automatic, the initial state. So just go and say toggle input. Okay, so where we have here the product new, here I'm just going to remove it, and I'm just going to say toggle input, and this comes from this. So if we hover on it, you see we have the label, so you can first pass in the label, and the label I'm just going to say here publish your product. Okay, And then another thing it has is the name. Okay, so the name is the one. Now the name is the one that you define up here. Okay, so this here is what is supposed to be the name, this one, and it's what you pass in also as the default value. So here I'm just going to say is active. Okay, you can just come here and you see what is it here. So you just say the name, you just paste here is active. Okay, if you just move again, you see we have the true title and the false title. So the true title, if this is true, if it is active, so what should we put? For instance, we said we want it to be active, and then the false title, here is just going to say inactive, like maybe just say draft. Okay, draft, or you could just even say private. Okay, so we have this now, and another one is, I think those are the ones. The only thing you have not put right now, if you just like check, it is going to be just like this. Let's see, input. Okay, so register, of course we have to pass in the register function as usual. Like all these ones we pass in the register here, so just pass in also the register function here, and then let's receive it this side here. Just get the register. Okay, I'm just going to put comma register. Okay, the register function must be passed down. Okay, so that's great. Now the only thing that is remaining is controlling it here. Okay, is controlling it's this. So just going to have a class name. So just have here class name. Okay, so the class name, let me see how we are going to customize this. So we can just have the class name, and by default we're just going to make it just like this. So we'll add this and flex. Okay, just like that, and I think, yeah, so you can just add it just like this. Let's just see. So if for instance we give this, let's just say we're just going to have the class name here. Okay, I'm just going to have the class name. Okay, so by default that is the default one, so it will be side by side. I'm not sure if this is responsive, because in the responsive mode we are supposed to have them changing, but you can see in responsive they're still just like this. I don't know, so it's supposed maybe to add flex wrap to this if you're just going to work with responsive. And if you leave it like this, of course this one is already responsive, like it will be just down here. Okay, just like that. So, and if I just change this also to even if you put also width is full, let's see, it will just have the same results I guess here. And let's see the site, it has the same exact result if you put width is full, because it is taking the core span 1. Okay, I just have to boil this down. Okay, okay, so if we just make this one to be, it has to have somewhere a flex, so just going to also to do this one I think also be responsive. Let me see. Yep, so we could just also put flex and then flex wrap. Okay, and just have flex wrap there. Okay, so on the big screen, okay, it is still having this if we just simply pass in what we had passed in sm core span, now this flex wrap, I don't know how it is working right now, but and if we put flex wrap, okay, that means we're supposed to control these W for here, because these ones are occupying the width is 100%. So if we say, for instance, same width half, let's just say this, and we see okay, so let's see this. So we give them to occupy a half instead of full. Then let's see. Yep, so this can make them responsive. That's good, that's cool. Okay, they just have them like this, and then here we have the flex wrap. So this is going to be the default. Okay, this is going to be the default, and if you don't want this, I think you can simply pass in the flex. If I remove, let's say if we remove flex wrap, want to see what controls this. I think it is flex everything, like there is flex. Let's see. Yeah, so you just simply remove flex. But I just say this one is going to be the default one. If you want to pass in, you can also pass in the class name. Okay, so that's great. And so far that's it, I guess. So we have this toggle now also part of our components. You can simply use this now. Just going to go ahead and put it in our components. I'm just going to copy it. Simply go to reusable components, and while we have this toggle input checkbox component, just going to say here component, you can just simply go ahead and remove all this, and then let's put this. and then you're just going to put usage down there. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down here. Okay, the toggle component usage, so toggle input usage. So how you can use this in your stuff, you have to define, first of all, you just have to define, you simply have to define this. Okay, so put this here, sorry. Okay, and all these components, you can reuse them in the future. Okay, that's why we are trying to do this in the first place, to make sure you can reuse them. And then you can also just have this here on top. So there are two things you have to pass in. Is this active? So I'm just going to have this also. You must define the initial state. Okay, so here just going to give a comment. Okay, you have to define the initial state. Okay, you have to define the initial state by giving default values, by setting up the default values. The default values. Okay, so you have to say it, first of all you have to have the watch, and then you set the default values, and then you can start watching it. Okay, so you have also to watch it to be able to change. Okay, to be able to change off and on, just like that. If you want the figures to change the other toggle in place, okay, you could just like register it and it will just be knowing the value. But if you want to show someone on the UI, why we have to watch it is because we are constantly changing the UI here to active and deactive. Okay, if we simply only set here we are not changing this, then there would be no problem. Okay, so we have it that one done. Okay, we have it done, set properly. Right now we can just like try to do this, and I'm just going to simply reuse this on all of the others. Okay, so that's where the advantage comes. So we're just going to simply copy what we did here. We have to have this is active, so I'm just going to get this toggle, so just simply copy it here the way it is. I'm just going to add it all others. So start with the banners, new page. So down here, after, I'm just going to set this here, and first of all you can import this. You can give this one publish your banner. Okay, and then of course you have to set up here the first thing here, and you can see the name we are giving it here. This is the same name you should use. This is active, so this name you come and it's what you are setting here. So I'm just going to say const is active is equal to watch, and then watch the same is active, as simple as that. And then here you have to first of all bring in the watch, and then you have also to set the default value, and you set it in the, so you say default values is going to be here. Just going to say is active. Okay, and then you can just give it true. Okay, that's how we're just going to use this. Okay, and your setting of course is active is what you are passing in as a name here. So if we just go quickly to banners, okay, let's just look at this if it is working, the banner. So down here, the last thing we have, publish your banner, and you can see by default is active. Okay, so then the categories, the same thing with the categories. Okay, the same thing with the categories. So you can just go to the categories, do the same thing. Where is the banners? So here we have the categories. So down after everything, we can just push down here. Just going to simply copy it, go to categories. First of all, import it, publish your category. Okay, so we have here two things. Const is active is equal to watch, and then you pass in the same thing is active, and then down here you have to get the watch, and then you have also to pass in the default values, and you can just say here is active. You can set it to true. Okay, and then let's go to, we are done with banners active, so let's go ahead and go to coupons. Okay, so the same thing, coupons down here. I'm just going to paste this, get this, and let's say publish your coupon, and you could just say the status of your coupon or anything. Then up here we have to say const is active is equal to watch, and then here watch is active, and then we have to bring of course the watch, and then inside here we have to define the default value. So you say default values, and then we can set an object is active, set this to true. Okay, and that's great. We have to do this or even for the markets and all kind of stuff. So we have these the coupons, products is done. Okay, so the catalog is done. So we have also the farmers. Okay, we have also the farmers. So down here, okay, just put this. So that is a farmer. Okay, so here farmer, can you see here farmer status? So you see farmer status, and we can just go ahead and see here is active. So we have this const is active is equal to watch is active, and then you can just pass in the default value here. Okay, and then let's pass in the is active, set it to true. Okay, Then we had also set up the market. So just going to do the same thing to the market. Okay, and just get this. Yeah, just going to status of the market status. And you can just also leave it is start when it is active. Status, so you just come here and say const is active. Okay, and you could just say watch is active, so here is active, and we could just give a default value here. So just go ahead and you say default values, and then is active, give it true. Okay, now we are going to see that this one, some of them are going to be false. For instance, by default, like farmers, when you're registering a farmer, by default can be, for instance, the farmer here, when they register themselves onto the, like on the UI, you will see that by default when you're registering them, they should just be by default they will be they shouldn't be active. Okay, they shouldn't be active. The state we can just give it a default of false. Okay, we're just going to see, for instance, for the farmers, we can just give it false. We'll be seeing that because the farm has to be verified. Okay, and then down here, I think those are the ones we have. We can just quickly cross check them. So you have like markets. Okay, if you just go to add a new market, in this we did not bring this market. Where is market? We don't have watch. Okay, so okay, so you can see here the state is active. Then you can also check on the farmers. Okay, just check quickly on the farmers. Okay, so they are active. When some farmer status active. Okay, so you should be able to toggle this on and off somehow. Okay, then let's go ahead and see. So what I wanted us to do is add one form for this our staff. Okay, so now this is very also very tricky, because like we could have like users, we could have whereby we have a farmer as a role, as we are going to look at, but then we have also here the staff members. Okay, now the staff members are going to be controlling the admin panel. We are going to have some different panels. We are going to have this admin panel. Now this is going to be the main admin panel. Okay, but then there are going to be more especially for the farmers, and then the dealers and other people there. Okay, there is farmers will have their own simple dashboard whereby they can look at their own products they have added. They can also look at their own statistics of the sales they have, and that's why we call it a multi-vendor. We're going to look at that in a second, but the fact that it is a multi-vendor, the meaning of multi-vendor is that someone should be able to set up a simple, you can just sign up and then you can add their own, they are supposed to create their own markets, then they can add products, so they have control, more especially like under catalog they have to add products and the categories, and they can also add coupons. Now they might not add store banners, okay, we can just like limit the store banners, but they can have ability to add the catalog items, and then they should be able to set up markets, okay, but then they cannot add other farmers. And this is why we have here like these farmers here. This one is going to be created by admin, okay, and in one way or the other also we are going to have this the email and password for this farmer. We're just going to look at that. We are going to update at some point the details of this farmer. This is going to be created by an admin or whoever is going to be the moderating the system, and can create a farmer, and then they can email a farmer the details or the login credentials, okay. Or alternatively, we are going to have the farmers like register as a farmer. So like on the site we are going to have register as a farmer, where they are going to have this form, and then they set up all these things here. They have their email verified and all that kind of stuff, the email and password, set up all those things, and then they can be verified at the end of the day, okay. Yeah, so that's what you're just going to set up in a near future. They should have some full name, I think, and then you have the phone number, they have the email address, and then we should have like the password, okay. They're supposed to be able to enter their password, okay. They're supposed to enter like their password, and then afterwards we can just have them registered onto the system, okay. And they're supposed to, I think, to add even their when they are customizing like the market here, they have to put their logo, the farmer's image. But then we're also going to have even more details. We are going to have onboarding details for this. Anytime it's going to change, I will get the full information we need on the farmer, okay. We need more full information on the farmer, and it will be, we'll have this form, and as an onboarding form, I guess we'll also have this form somewhere as an onboarding form. When a farmer, after they have registered, then they are taken onto the page where they can add more details about themselves, okay. Yeah, so that is nice. So having said that, so this one is going to be bound to change anytime. I wanted us to add the ability to add a staff member. So the staff members are the ones who are going to be having also access on different things. The farmers, they might have a typical different admin panel. You're just going to see that they might typically have a different admin panel to have their own statistics and all kind of stuff. But then other normal users, they will be controlled, they will be accessing the same stuff, but then we can limit them on what they can see. For instance, we can hide this admin tab and they can look at all other tabs, okay. And that's the one we are going to work on, making these staff members. And we're just going to see here, you see like they have add staff, they have things like first name, last name, the image of the staff member, the password, contact number, the joining date, and then we have this, the role, okay. You can see here admin, CEO, manager, accountant, driver, so on and so forth, okay. Yeah, so we'll have the that we'll have just like a form for that. I'm just going to quickly just do that. I will simply get these details for the farmer, and I will just use those details. So simply copy this. Okay, Control C, or can you say right click and copy, and just go to the staff. I'm just going to remove this page, and just going to a minute, make sure you are on the right place, staff, then paste. Okay, so you have the staff, and then you can have this the page is going to be staff, and here just going to be dashboard staff new. Okay, and then this is going to be add staff. Okay, and then let's go to, of course, update here. Update is going to be update staff, and then here is of course update staff, and then we have the new. Okay, we have the new, and then on the new here we're just going to say new staff. Okay, we have the new staff. So this one we don't have the coupons. We just need some few details of this person. I'm just going to say new staff. Okay, and even the API is going to be staff, and then here is going to be staff. Okay, so we have here the full name of this person. Can you see here full name? You could have first name. I'm just going to have here full name, staff, full name as a name. Then they have the phone. Okay, phone number, email address. Okay, and then physical address, the contact person is not relevant, so there is no need of saying the staff has a contact person. This and even this, we can just leave the notes. Okay, we can leave the notes there if you need, so like you need to take some notes about this. Okay, the only thing we can just add maybe is the staff image, but for now just keep it really minimal like that. I just get that, and just say create here staff, and then creating staff. So one thing we can just add is after the full name we can have the password. Okay, we can have the password. We can just set for them the password. So staff, so we could just say name here password, as simple as that. And this is going to be password, the word password. Okay, password, and then this one to, I think we have to give it to be full. So we have password. Let's see in a second. Let's go to our staff, and then add the staff, Okay, we have the full name, password, then of course email. So just have like password, email, then phone. I'm just going to switch up these ones. Okay, I'm just going to switch up these ones here. Okay, so you can enter the password, and the password has type password, so we can change the type here. Okay, type password. Okay, so that if someone is typing it in, it is actually password, right? Okay. Okay, cool. So we have that in place. We can register a staff, and we can create them a password, and you're so using this email address. The admin can send an admin can send they can invite, okay, admin can invite this person to this admin panel. Okay, they all other staff members, they are supposed to join using invitation, not signing up. They're not supposed to sign up, they're supposed to be invited. Now we could do the same thing like for the farmers, but I think farmers, they can register themselves, and then the admin can simply approve. Okay, admin can simply approve for the farmers. Okay, and then one more thing I think we'll work on later on is the community. In the community is going to have the trainings where you can train different farmers about different, just going to be like a blog. Okay, this one is going to be like a blog. Uh, but for now, I think we are set for this. For the blog, we will set this one up, I think, the next time, where we're just going to use something. Well, we can have the person have this one as a training, or as what? We're just going to discuss about this community here, and this community, how the client was explained to me, is that is going to help people to, for instance, you can write a training or a blog whereby you can train farmers about a specific thing. Okay, we shall just also talk about that, but right now we have a bit of so creating a stuff. Now what I just want to just take 1 minute to explain the concept of this. If you just go ahead and let's just scroll up. If you just go ahead up here and you go back to this, you will notice that we have this, what is multi-vendor. Okay, so I wrote some simple notes I just searched online, and then like it is just to help you to understand the concept of what is a multi-vendor e-commerce. But a multi-vendor e-commerce is simply whereby you have is a store that has a platform, online platform, where multiple independent vendors or sellers can offer their product or service in a centralized marketplace. Okay, so you can see that there must be multiple sellers, there must be a centralized marketplace, and then there must be a product catalog. Okay, and we have all those ones. If you just come here to ours, Multi-Vendor like Grocery Store, what it means that we are going to have independent farmers signing up on the system, and they can set up their own markets. Okay, so they will set up their own pages, and if you set up a page, it's going to be looking something like this. Okay, so when a farmer comes to their shop, they should see something like this. Okay, they should see something like this. Okay, and then we have these deals. So products with coupons, they will come under deals, but we will have something like this. Okay, where they have their own you can see here they have all these categories. Okay, someone can set up all these categories, and they can add as many products as possible they have. Okay, you can see this can slide just like that. Okay, but this is cool. So this is going to be the farmer's shop when they set up. But when you go to the whole stuff, you will have something like this. Okay, so this is a category page, but when you just go back to the shop, okay, if you just simply go back to the shop, I think by this link, yeah, so if you go back to the shop, here you see that you have all the products in one place. A person can come and shop irrespective of the farmers, whatever. Someone can just come here and they can do the shopping. Okay, still, and these ones are going to be by categories. You'll be looking at the categories we have now. We'll have a criteria of which how we are going to show the main categories and what kind of stuff, but we'll have these ones, or someone can just decide to shop by market. Okay, so that's how we are going to handle that. And let me just quickly talk about this concept of the multi-vendor. So farmers will be able to join the system. They come and they sign up as a farmer, or when you sign up as a farmer, you will have to first create an account using either Google. Okay, a farmer will have to create an account using Google. We can just use this draw. So I'm just going to have you can just have these. Let me see. So we have, and just rename these to the steps. So this is just so the farmer comes, and the first step they have to go through is going to be sign up. So the farmer, if they want to, they have to come here and they have to sign up. Okay, sign up, and here they can typically use someone can typically use they can use a Google. Just a second. Okay, they can sign up using Google, or they can use credentials. Okay, so this is of course typically the login and sign up system. So they will sign up. After this, they will have to the next thing is here, onboarding. Okay, so they will have onboarding. Okay, so after this, let me just come and do this here. Okay, so after they have signed up, they have to do onboarding. And onboarding, what I mean, they have to provide more details. So here they have to provide, okay, more details about their business, okay, or whatever they are planning to be shipping into the system. And now they will be pending. So after doing this, they will be now under pending. So here, so they will be waiting for approval, okay, for approval. Okay, so they will not do anything. Okay, they will not do anything until they just actually get approved. That's when they can actually do anything. So when they request everything, when they request, they of course here they will, on the sign up, they will be verified with the email. After being verified, we shall send them the onboarding. See, on the onboarding, they will now have everything in place. They will set up their logos, blah blah, and all kind of stuff, and then they will be waiting for the approval. So when the admins goes through their data and everything and is okay with everything, then goes ahead and verifies who is supposed to access the system. So after that, of course, after approval, then they can just go ahead and start working, like setting up everything. So just going to move this like here. Okay, just like this. Then after this, of course, what will happen is that they can now go ahead, they can just go ahead and just going to duplicate this. They can go ahead and set up the store. So they can now set up, they can set up the market. Okay, they can set up the market or the store. This is going to be just like their store. So they will come after that, they will just be able to set up the store. I'm just going to okay, just like that. So when they approved, then they can set up their store and they can start selling. Okay, and that's how the a multi-vendor is going to work. We'll have that process whereby we have these farmers signing up and they can create their own products. Okay, now one thing that we might control, okay, one thing that we might control are the categories. Okay, because if we don't control the categories, it is going to be crazy. Okay, what you want you to know is people like Jumia, they also have, okay, even Jumia is using a multi-vendor system. Okay, but you see they have their own categories, so you have to supply within their categories when you are creating a market and you are choosing the categories. The categories are going to be done by the are going to be created by the admin. Admin has to create the categories, otherwise it is going to be chaos. More especially when it comes to people creating unnecessary categories. So we're just going to control that using the admin. They can only create the market and then they add which category they want to provide in. I think that one is going to be they simply choose the category and then they add in their products in that category. Okay, yeah, that one will be, I think, will be good to control them like that. Okay, so so far so good. Okay, so far so good. Now in the next episode, what you're just going to do is actually setting up the database. So in the next episode, we are going to work on the database, setting up the database, making sure that we save all this information we are getting from the catalogs, from the markets, farmers, and even the staff members. We should be able to send all this data to a database, and then if we can create categories, we can create farmers, markets, and everything, then we should be able to start working onto the UI on the front end, and then also actually working on the most important thing, like we are going to work on the route site, on boarding route. If we want to register the farmer, working on those pending things and all that kind of stuff, we are going to start working on those ones after we have set up the database and we can add the products. Okay, thank you so much for watching this episode. Okay, I'm really grateful. I'm just going to see how I'm going to set up you guys to get the code as fast as possible. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can always first hit the smash button. If you're just like starting, please press that like button, and if you have reached this far, congratulations, and I'm so grateful of you. And if you're learning a lot of stuff, please share with others so they can also learn. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.